Hello friends, Dr. J here once again with the series How to Pass Your DOT Medical Exam. And today we're going to have another little round about medications, but wanted to describe what the FMCSA says in their language about medications. One of the things that I'm charged to do if a patient says, well, I'm taking metformin for prediabetes, or I'm taking this blood pressure, whatever the medication is, one of the assessments that I have to try to determine is it effective, safe, stable, and adequate. Those are the four things. The medication has to rise to those four things. So let's just start with the first one. Is the medication safe? People have taken medication and had bad reactions to it. And that medication, if it causes you to have blurred vision or dizziness or be incapacitated in any way, then it's obviously not safe for you. It's not safe for the general public out there that are driving beside you. Adequate. So the amount that you're taking, let's just use metformin as an example. Typically they'll start with 500 milligrams twice a day. Now I know that my wife took metformin, took that dosage, and she had just horrible tummy trouble as a result of that. So is the medication effective, or is it adequate? The amount that you're taking, is it affecting the condition? So maybe we use blood pressure as an example. So let's say you're taking lisinopril. A lot of people do. And if your blood pressure is still high, then it's not adequate. You either need a different medication, or the same medication but a stronger dose of that medication. And that kind of ties into effective as well. Like, is the medication helping? Go back to metformin. When you do the UA, we're not checking for drugs, although I am certified to do that. The part of the DOT exam is checking for sugar, protein, blood, those types of things. And sugar is probably the biggest one. And if you're still spilling sugar, then is the medication effective? Is it actually doing what it needs to do? And then, stable. Is the medication stable? So, medications, and go with me here, it's kind of a silly example, but let's say you take antibiotics and you're taking antibiotics all the time. Well, then you're going to have to take stronger antibiotics to get them to have the same effective dose. And that's one of the problems we have with antibiotics in the country, is they've been handed out like candy, and now antibiotics don't work as strong as they used to, or as good as they used to. So we got to invent stronger ones, and there's an attenuation that goes up, and your body is meant to do that, to get used to things, and then it takes stronger. Illegal drugs, which is not this particular topic, but the same thing. If somebody took a certain amount of marijuana or cocaine or heroin or whatever, the same amount you took 6 months ago isn't getting the same outcome. So all medications are going to react that way with the human body and our metabolism and how we break them down. So is the medication able to do its job, do it safely? Are you taking an adequate amount for the condition that you have? Is it being effective? And in the case of blood pressure, getting your blood pressure down. In the case of metformin, is it getting your sugar under control? Psych meds, same way. And stable. We want to make sure that the medication is doing its job, and your body isn't attenuating out of that effect of the medication. And does the medication need to be upped? Maybe it needs to be lowered. I lost 100 pounds, and they had to lower all kinds of my medication until I finally got off of cholesterol medication, finally got off of blood pressure medication. So it goes the other way too, right? We think about ramping it up to have the same effect, but a lot of drivers, they get to a point and they say, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to be overweight. I don't want to have this. So they start to lose weight. They start to take their diet seriously, try to get out, move around. Well, that medication maybe needs to be lowered as well, which is a good thing, because the less medication you can take, the better. So those are the four things that the FMCSA challenges me to ask those questions, and any DOT examiner should ask those questions, or at least just try to evaluate, especially if you're a repeat customer and you are on this medication and you're still on that medication a year or two later. Is that medication still being effective, safe, adequate, and stable for you? So there you go. Thank you so much for joining in and supporting the channel. Please subscribe, share, comment, like, hit the bell, and that'll help us to be able to continue to make this good education and good content for you. All right, everybody be safe.